Hey, it's Soul with a bunch of questions that I would like to ask the World of Warcraft dev team. In fact, this is exactly what I'm submitting to them through their online form. This isn't a complete set, obviously, and you can be certain that I'll have more to ask during and after Blizzconline, so let's do it. Just in case this hasn't already been talked about, could you get into more detail about what's in store for raiders with regards to loot drop rates, or is the 33% buff that was hotfixed in the other week something that the team is satisfied with? As a profession, archaeology has been ramping down and is not present in Shadowlands at all. Even if you might not have anything specific to discuss, can we expect it to continue in future expansions? The Mythic Hall of Fame and third-party sites like Raider.io provide a very clear snapshot of faction balance, at least among top players. Have there been discussions at all to develop a solution that lets players, regardless of race choice, play together, while still preserving the faction conflict that makes the World of Warcraft iconic? Since WoW communities were updated with the new Guild Finder feature, it doesn't appear to have been looked at or updated, while many have suggested raising the population limit, lifting faction restrictions, and more. Will communities be looked at in the near future? Many folks who pug can't stand levers, especially in Mythic Plus dungeons. Adding punitive systems like a deserter debuff has been a controversial discussion among fans. But what about adding positive reinforcement, like a commendation system? Has that been considered in order to alleviate the lever problem? Character customization was really big in the initial 902 patch. What more can we expect when it comes to that or heritage armor? Can we finally put an end to Blood Elf eyebrows penetrating helmets? How about dispelling any further questions or doubt? Exactly how will flying be unlocked in Shadowlands? It's been a while since we've seen content that requires flying, such as the Cloud Serpent dailies. Since flying is more or less a passive perk that you get from endgame content, we would consider flying to be more inclusive than exclusive. Now with that said, can we expect flying-specific content in the future? Here's a time-walking question. There are still many dungeons, including vanilla dungeons and their remakes, that are not part of the time-walking pool. Are there any plans to revisit this? We got to meet many characters through leveling in Shadowlands, and some have been able to join us as companions to send off on missions. Will we get to learn more about these characters, or maybe take them out as bodyguards or something else? It's going to be a little bit awkward in the last few weeks as we get our final followers who happen to start at level 1. Are there any hopes of obtaining them at an elevated level? So far, progression in the world content is limited to the Covenant set and world quests. Now, Ian did mention that this would be looked at alongside raid drop rates, which have since been hotfixed. What are the upcoming plans for outdoor content beyond, higher rewards from world quests? Players on the front lines of progression just unlocked their final Soulbind rows this week. Will the team be looking closely at feedback over conduit energy and make adjustments as needed? Since collection systems came to the World of Warcraft, we have been amassing thousands of transmog pieces and pets and toys and mounts and achievements, but it doesn't feel very good that expressing this collection is limited to a single character at a time. Is there any discussion, or even is there any hope of a traditional player housing system that is not progression focused, something that we can use to show off our collections and achievements in a fun and interactive way? Torghast gameplay has been great, but I feel like the longevity of it is limited to Soul Ash, which quickly turns the experience into a single objective chore. For all the effort that's put into it, is Torghast something to be quickly graduated from or set aside once these Soul Ash needs are exhausted, or are there additional features in store? After 2 expansions, dungeons have become a very strong pillar of endgame content. Has the team considered moving regular Mythic difficulty dungeons to the LFD tool in an effort to kind of ease players into this harder content? In a recent investor call, Bobby Kotick implied that more premium content would be coming to the World of Warcraft. Does this assertion go beyond the cosmetic promotions that we've already been seeing? The dungeon experience at the end of Exile's Reach can be populated by NPC party members. Are there plans to someday incorporate this as an optional dungeon experience similar to the Trust system in Final Fantasy XIV? The new leveling system has worked out pretty well, but there's an audience that would really like to stick to a particular expansion, like Mists of Pandaria, and play through that entire experience, as in the leveling, the patch content, the raids, and everything else, without the awkwardness of lock-in experience or leaving Chromie time. Are there any plans to support this? And finally, with pet battles, is there going to be a new pet battle dungeon coming in Shadowlands, or is there going to be some sort of pet battle ranked mode incoming? And I'm done with the questions for now, at least. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.